Good day, good morning, good evening, good night, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a little podcast on a channel
Mm-hmm.
called Shampo with my very good friend Krish.
Mm-hmm.
So, Krish, tell us something about yourself before we start our topic.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm 17. I'm living in Germany in a small town near Cologne. And I'm also a Isha meditator, like him. I'm initiated into Shambhavi, and next month I'm learning Buddha Shuddhi. And yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
So, Krish was in one place in which I wanted to be for the past 6, 7, 8 months, very badly. But unfortunately, I still cannot go there. But Krish was there, and as you can see, he has a lot of things. So,
Oh.
Krish, what is that place? What is that place I'm talking about?
It's Isha Yoga Center in Coimbatore.
Exactly.
Um, One of the best places on the earth. Yeah, designed by Sadhguru, and the whole place just has a very different energy from you won't see that anywhere in the world. So yeah.
Yeah. So this will be our topic for the next some minutes. I don't know how much, but
Mhm.
anyways, how it will go, I don't know. So, uh, Chris, tell us something about how you went there, for what reason, how was your first impression, experience, and how you went back home. Did you cry or something like this?
Yeah. Wait, I'm gonna make you a little bit louder.
Sure.
Okay, that's fine. So Isha Yoga Center, it was always a dream for me to go there. Um, not it was literally sometimes like I had dreams of it. Like I had the dream of going there with my class on a class trip, or also just like in meditations. I wanted it really, really, really badly. And I also imagined it a lot of times, like how it would feel to be in the Dhyana Linga. Like the Dhyana Linga is basically the main point of Isha Yoga Center and the most important point. So yeah, I had many dreams, daydreams, night dreams, and yeah, I wanted it very intense. And then sometime there was a time when I asked my mother if we could go there. And at first she was a little bit hesitant and said like, yeah, I don't know, it could be expensive. And we also uh, mostly go to my family in North India. So that time we just went to South India and then to North India. Of course, it was a little bit more expensive and it was really spontaneous, but it was really a great experience. So we went there. Yeah, we at first my mom was like, um, she didn't know if everything would happen and if we would find a driver and things like that. But everything turned out really well. At We went out of the airport and directly we found a really good driver and he didn't scam us or something. His name was Rahul. Shout out Rahul. Or
Shout out to
not
him.
Raghu. Raghu. Yeah, and he was quite nice. And yeah, we drove there, and it wasn't too hot. So people always think of South India like a very, very hot place, like North Africa or something like that. But actually, it wasn't that hot. Like the heat was manageable. It was okay. It was like 24 degrees in Celsius, so not at all hot. I always thought it would be like 50 degrees or something. But yeah, North India was it was just like a heat wave there. But in South India, it was manageable. And yeah, we drove to the place. It was like 1.5 hours. And yeah, at first I saw the Velangiri Hills, like Shiva also said, Shiva Kala Shambhu, shout out to him. Um, he directly knew which of the mountains would be Velangiri Hills. And for me, it was kind of the same. There are many hills, surprisingly. You wouldn't think that in the south there are many hills, but there are many, many hills. And yeah, and the energy was just great. So we drove there. I was trying to find the occult tree because shout out DJ. DJ and Shiva went to this occult tree that some yogi has energized with the Vishuddhi energy. And I tried to find it on the street, but I didn't really. So yeah, that was a fail. But yeah, we drove past the entrance, the Naga entrance. I think it's the Naga. I don't know. There's like a specific word for it. But we drove past it, and there was like a second entrance, and we went there. We had to scan our bags, and oh yeah, and also Adi Yogi. We saw him like even when we were not there. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can see him from pretty far away because he's so big, like really, really big. It was a crazy sight, but you can only see like his hair, but that was already crazy. So when we saw him like full on, that was a completely like a really, really intense experience. And I wouldn't think that he's like this big in the statue in compared to the real life statue. So that was crazy. But yeah, we went like to the yoga center, to the second entrance, not the entrance where Shiva went through, because he
Mm-hmm.
made like a video. He got kicked out. A lot of
Yes.
you probably know it. Um, but yeah, we went to the second entrance, and there we just scanned our bags and went to the Brahmapurta, or Brahmapurta, is it called? It's like a Isha cottage where you can stay, and we stayed there for 10 days, and yeah, that was very nice.
How much it was costing you? How much it cost?
Um, I think it was like 10. I think like 900 rupees a day, without like the AC. So just without AC, 900 and I think 990 rupees a day. So that's like 9 euros a day, I think, or something like that.
Something like
So
this. Yes, yes.
yes. So it wasn't that much, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like living on the street in Europe will be much more expensive.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about in on which for what did you come to the Isha Yoga Center, for which maybe day celebration or something like this, and tell us about it. What that was? What was your experience of this?
Yeah. So I still remember it was a Thursday, and it was like really magical at the first time. So we didn't went there like for a specific event, but we did manage to be at attend one event. It was Guru Purnima. Unfortunately, this Guru Purnima was the first and hopefully the last Guru Purnima where Sadhguru wasn't there in person. So I still couldn't see him. Like I was at Dhyana Linga Isha Yoga Center, but I couldn't see him unfortunately. But still, it was a great event. So we came at that time and it was like really convenient. So we went there for Guru Purnima, but not specifically for it, just like this was one where it was convenient to attend. And yeah, I know that it was like in the evening on a Thursday, and we were like just going to the Brahmaputra, to the cottage, and I left all the bags there, and we left all the bags there, me and my mother. And then we immediately went to Dhyana Linga. I know it would only be open for like 10 minutes. It was like in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really magical because I always saw videos and I saw these videos on YouTube about Dhyana Linga and the Dhyana Linga consecration and also Sadhguru exclusive. So it was like surreal to be there in person and see Dhyana Linga. Dhyana Linga was also way, way, way bigger than I thought it would be. So yeah, but it was like
How big that was?
experience. Yeah.
How big that was?
Yeah, I was there for like 10 minutes, and then there was like a brahmachari that did like this to wake people up or refine the energy or something. But it was probably to wake people up. They always do this before closing the temple. So yeah, that was my first experience there.
All right. What was the date of the Guru Purnima?
Uh, I don't really know. It was like mid-July or something like that.
23rd or not? Or 21st? Something like this in 20th.
Yeah, something like this.
All right.
Yeah.
Um, tell us about some more about your meditation and inner experience of different places? Did you go to the Surya Kund and you went to maybe Linga Bhairavi and all these places? Please tell us about it.
So yeah, I went to the Suryakund, like on the second or third day, and I could go in detail. Should I go a little bit into detail?
Yes, sure.
Well, okay, you need like to pay 10 rupees or something, and I always thought like, what is the process? Like, do they just go into Suryakund, or how do they go into it? Like, it looked like people went there with clothes, but yeah, you get like a cloth, not a cloth, you get like a towel that you wrap around yourself, and yeah, you first go into like a big room where people are putting this cloth on. So you pay the guy at the front. There's like the Naga entrance, and completely on the left there's the Suryakund entrance. And there are also like some rules, not really strict rules, but there are rules. And you pay this guy 10 rupees, and then you go into this big room where people wrap the towel around themselves, and you get the towel, and then you go into Suryakund. And it was a nice experience. It was really cold, like really, really cold. It was like an ice bath, something like this. But it was also completely different. Like, I think you're recommended to be there like 15 to 20 minutes, but I was there like 30 to 35 minutes sometimes. Because
Whoa.
even though it was cold, it was giving me so much energy that just now when I'm reminded of this experience, it brings like energy into me. Like, they're like big, what is it called? Like solidified mercury lingams. They have like a specific Sanskrit name, but I don't know. Like, Rasa Lingas. I
Yes,
think
yes,
Rasa Lingas.
yes.
Yeah. And like, they're all like 500, 600 kilograms. And most people go into the Suryakund, into this extremely cold water, and then go 3 times around the first linga on the left, 3 times around the middle, and then around the right, and then to the big waterfall. Yeah, and it was like completely different from all the other water. It was like, it's really hard to describe. It was a potent experience.
All right. Can you tell us something about? Did you touch the lingams? Did you feel some
Yeah,
energy?
yeah. Most people, I would say, all people did. But yeah, I also touched the lingams and like bowed down in front of them and touched them like this. Yeah, you are not allowed to swim there. You should just go like normally. And it was always stillness. So there was a guy always controlling if people are still or not still. Some people talked, so this guy would always like not tell them like a word, but did like this or like they would like, what is it called? Like with his mouth, this
Whistle,
like
whistle, whistle.
sometimes some things like this. But yeah, I also touched it, and it was like energy went through the lingam into my body. It was, I don't know. It's not really describable.
Of course, of course. Experience is not really describable.
Yeah.
Okay, so also I know that you were sitting a lot of time at the presence of Yogeshwar Linga in front of the Adi Yogi. Please tell us something about this experience.
So yeah, I went to the Yogeshwar Linga. That was like on the second or third day also. And that's the linga that is consecrated with all the chakras, but not the anahata and the sasar. So it is only intensity and inclusiveness, but not really love. So that's there's like a big like shield type thing where it's described how Sadhguru consecrated it, like in a small text. And then you go there, you can offer the linga like a lotus flower or also like some Kailash water. Yeah, I did that like 4 or 5 times when I went there. And what I saw is that the lingam, the Yogeshwara Linga, just also energizes the whole Adiyogi statue. And the statue could only be this alive because the lingam is this alive. And yeah, when I went there, it is really open. Like most other temples in North India I went to, they're like really, really closed. But this one was like really open. So even when it would be raining and there would be a lot of wind, the rain would come inside like from the side. And it was really windy in general in Coimbatore in the monsoon season. And I was there in the monsoon season. It's really windy and rainy, but that was not a big problem. And it was really, I don't know how to describe it. I went into the temple and then I meditated there and wanted to meditate there for like half an hour, but we stayed there for 2 hours. So there was constantly this mantra like Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya, Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya, Kale Kale Kaleshwaraya, Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya. And this mantra would be constantly going on. And at first I was only meditating there, but then at some point I sat there like really intense, but also like I would be including everything into myself. It's hard to describe, but then at some point I also just naturally chanted this Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya mantra, and it made sense how this lingam is like this intense. It's not like Dhyana Linga. Dhyana Linga, you don't even feel it that hard. It's like it's not hard hitting you, but it's really subtle. You go into it and you slowly get into this state of harmony and meditativeness, but there it hits you. And I had this experience there, but also at Linga Bhairavi. And at Linga Bhairavi, it was way more intense, way more intense. Linga Bhairavi literally hits you if you go into it or into her space. So yeah, I felt really intense and inclusive at Yogeshwar Linga, and it was really easy to meditate, like way too easy. Yeah, and I meditated there like 2 hours. The camera just
That's okay.
like 2 hours, and yeah, it was like a big experience. Of course, I was longer at Dhyana Linga, but also Yogeshwar Linga, not every day, but most of the days. And yeah, it was great.
Very, very impressive, very cool, very great. I guess your camera will fall one more time, maybe, or no, it won't. It stopped already.
Yeah.
Anyways, it is very, very impressive. I want to be like you. I want to go there and spend there all my life, 24/7, 365 days a week,
Yeah.
a year. I mean, a year or a week.
Yeah.
Anyways, also I wanted to ask you one more question. Was there any maybe mystical or something that you cannot really somehow say anything about some situation, some mystical happening? Was there such maybe with some place that no one knows about in Isha Yoga Center, or I don't know, the food was too great or something like this?
I definitely had mystical experiences, but it wasn't like, it was really subtle. Like one mystical experience I had was seeing multiple brahmacharis tuning their sitar, or in general their Indian instruments, and it was like they're tuning them. Like there was this one brahmachari sitting besides Suryakund, at this I don't know, many people are meditating there because there's also Sadhguru Sannidhi pointing towards Velangiri Hills and Dhyana Linga. And there was this one brahmachari just tuning his sitar, and how he tuned it just inspired me so much, because he was so attentive and aware while tuning it. It was he was like so in harmony, and literally I myself felt like I was in harmony, like walking in harmony. Also in general, walking in the Isha Yoga Center, people naturally get more dynamic. Like how they walk, they just walk way more dynamic than if you go like like New York City, for example. In New York
Yeah.
City, the energy would be like chaotic and people be hectic, are hectic and really in haste. But there, people just naturally go like in harmony with nature, and the whole Isha Yoga Center is generally very, very like a part of nature. It didn't feel different like the nature in front of it. So yeah, but other mystical experience I had was also one was in Linga Bhairavi. Like I went into Linga Bhairavi, meditating there, and also had some offerings. And I did like one offering on the fourth or fifth day, and it was, I think, Achala Arpanam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the offering was called Achala Arpanam. And I was so near to Bhairavi, like the people that make this offering, they're allowed to be really near in front of Bhairavi while they do the Linga Bhairavi Arti. And it was an intense experience because there was like this brahmachari or Devi, there were like multiple people doing Devi Seva, and one has cracked like a coconut. Like there's this temple and there's like a barrier, and on the right side there's like a thing where you crack coconuts for Devi, and the brahmachari gave it to the woman that's in front of Bhairavi, like taking care of her. And they um they I don't know, smashed this coconut into half, and like a lot of the juice from the coconut would be going onto me, like it would be getting from there to me like this, and it was like and the raw energy just hit me. It was hitting me like here, like
Mm-hmm.
on this on my left side, and I was like meditating, and just this coconut cracking, it felt like energy came out of it. It went into Vitavi, and there was like this juice, like I said, getting onto me, and it was like energy just hit me there, and I was like this. Hard to describe, but many people had the same experience. And yeah, these mystical experiences, I guess they're not really describable. So when I talk about them, maybe people would get expectations of what would happen to them if they went to Bhairavi or Dhyanalinga. But it could also be that you would experience nothing. So don't go there with expectations, I think would be a good advice. Uh, but I can just speak from my experience and what happened to me.
Okay, that was great. Uh, I also wanted to make sure, how did the woman crack the coconut? She cracked it directly, like let's say at the feet of the Bhairavi, or she cracked it somewhere near you.
No, it was near me. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, there was this barrier,
Mm-hmm.
and on the right side there was like this thing with a sharp, I don't know, some sharp instrument, and that's
Oh,
how they.
okay, okay. Now I
I
understand.
was like in front this barrier, like really only like 2 meters away from Bhairavi, and that's how the juices of the coconut hit me just. And yeah, I was on the stairwell in front of the barrier.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Now I understand.
Hmm.
So maybe anything you want to add before we finish?
Mm.
Maybe some advice to someone who wants to go there or something.
Mm. Yeah, maybe manifest it like in your mind first before you go there. Like I said before, I went, like my main goal was just going to Dhyana Linga. Always when thinking going to the Isha Yoga Center, I mostly thought like, I even expressed it that way, like I want to go to the Dhyana Linga. When I didn't dream of the Isha Yoga Center, I just dreamed of the Dhyana Linga. Uh, or just thinking to be there, I think it manifested in some way. So my advice would be like first connect with the Dhyana Linga, and Shiva will call you when you are ready for it, I would say. And yeah, I just imagined myself being there, listening to Nada Aradhana. I meditated, and just imagining how the space would feel, how the floor would feel, how the air would feel, what type of scent there would be, and it was a strong scent of flowers everywhere. Like it was really intense. It smelled like a jungle or like nature, the whole Isha Yoga Center. And yeah, my advice would be have no expectations, manifest the space in your mind first before you go there. That's also what I did. I went like on Google Street View, and just scrolled through this whole place. Like, how does this look? How does this look? How does the space in front of Baidavi look, and the space around it? And just I try to just imagine it in my mind and visualize in my mind how the whole Isha Yoga Center is, and how it would feel, and how it looks, and what the architecture is. So that is my first advice. And don't have any expectations. Just go there without any expectations, or else you would be maybe dissatisfied with the outcome of it, or you could be.
Yeah, that's really wise. Thank you very much for sharing
Thank
your experience. It's really a big pleasure to know someone that has been to Isha Yoga Center and even to the some program. Guru Purnima is still a big problem.
Yeah, right.
Program, not a problem. Maybe for someone is a problem, but
Yeah.
not for us. So yeah, thank you very much
Thank you.
for this little podcast. I guess we will do some more in the future.
Yeah, we need to, definitely.
We have to. So, and guys, thank you very much for watching this video or listening to this video, and have a good day. Shiva Shambho.
Sure, Shambho.
All right, very
Okay,
good.
Yeah, this was my first podcast or YouTube video, so I was kind of